as a follow-up on the Benoit episode. We had Evan Husney and Jason Eisner on The Experience. Was it last week? Well, it was last 2 weeks. It was a 2-part interview.
Right.
And the first week, we talked about the Benoit episode. And one thing that I said specifically, so I loved the program as far as they had everybody that was close to the situation that was involved that's still around except one. And I thought that besides the fact that there was not enough explanation of the testosterone replacement therapy exemption in the WWE wellness program, which may have led them down a whole nother rabbit hole anyway, and a lot of people wouldn't have got it to begin with. But the glaring exception was Kevin Sullivan. And because he was not there to tell his story, he came off badly, undeservedly so, I thought, because a lot of us in wrestling know more of the backgrounds and more of the personalities and more of the stories than just these knuckleheads that think they know everything on the internet, such as the conspiracy theorists, who Ted Cruz killed JFK's father and Kevin Sullivan had something to do with this crime, et cetera, et cetera. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, I brought that up to Evan and Jason, and they started thinking about it. And they had asked Kevin to be a part of the program, and I won't reveal now why he wasn't, but I would say it was either miscommunication, I would label it, or lack of communication, and we're going to be getting into that as to why that Kevin did not appear on the program, because he wanted to make sure that it would not, he didn't know what the thing was going to be like, and he didn't know how big that this series was going to become, and he didn't want to upset Nancy's parents. But anyway, now that Evan and Jason are kind of feeling bad that his story was not in there, and as both you and I talked, we thought that he undeservedly came off badly because he wasn't there to talk, and just one line saying Kevin Sullivan declined to be interviewed for this show made it sound like he had something to hide or was trying to protect himself, when in actuality, it was a lot of cases, it was the other way around. He was trying to protect other people. So we've made arrangements that on the Experience a week from this coming Friday, not this Friday, April 3rd, but Friday, April 10th, because we've got to have time to get recorded and et cetera. And we want everybody to know about this because we want that story to be told. Kevin Sullivan will appear on an open-ended interview for the first time ever on a mainstream platform to tell his side of the story, not his side, but his story, his and Nancy's story, the story of his relationship with her, and the story of how he's had to deal with everything since then. And I hope that everybody will listen. We're not trying to do this for a big ratings deal. It's not sweeps month, but we want that story to get out because that's the one that has not been told. Of all of this, that's the one that hasn't been told because of Kevin's desire basically not to hurt the family any more than they've already been hurt by all of this. And by the fact that he's been so inundated with these goofs and idiots that regardless of what you think of Kevin or regardless of what you think of anybody involved, the idea that he would have had something to do with this or be involved with the actual act is just ridiculous. And it's either the goofs on the internet that want to stir people up, or it's the deranged people who actually believe shit like this, because that's, Hillary Clinton ran a fucking pedophile ring out of a pizza parlor basement in New Jersey. Well, that's perfectly reasonable. And it's in that category to me. So anyway, the Experience a week from this Friday, April 10th, will be Kevin Sullivan telling his story and his story with Nancy. And we hope that everybody would spread the word about it because it's something that needs to be heard.